It's the weekend here at Muscle in the Morning, and I'm Dave Palumbo, and today is Friday, June 7th, 2019. And let's find out what's going on in the world of bodybuilding and fitness. Every year in every sport, there's always a team that gets to the postseason for their first time who gets their butt spanked by some battle-tested veteran just because they were happy to be there in the first place. Hopefully, Clarence DeVis can avoid these same mistakes because he's only 15 weeks away from the biggest night of his bodybuilding life. This has been a big year for Clarence in more ways than one. Getting a pro win and an Olympia nod are two things that he's been leaning towards for a really long time now. And when you're up there on that stage, it almost always comes down to conditioning. So as long as he takes care of that business, there's a very real chance and very real possibility that we see him become a serious contender in this year's Olympia. I think everyone should read Malcolm Gladwell's book, The Tipping Point, at some point in their life, because it's one of the best books about cultural change and observation that was ever written. And based on the way he's been changing over the last few weeks, it feels like Dorian Haywood is starting to hit the tipping point in his contest season. A few days ago, the Haywood camp released a new video of their guy making his way through a few of the mandatory poses as he starts to tighten things up for the last month and change of his Chicago pro prep. Dorian is a guy who's made some under-the-radar improvements over the last few years that really show up on the stat sheets. So if he can stay true to the plan, I don't see any reason why the trend wouldn't continue. The fact of the matter is you've got to change in this division or get out. Those are strong words from Jeremy Potvin. Jeremy took to social media recently to address some of the complaining that he's heard from guys in and around the division who don't seem too happy about the way things are going. To be honest, my thoughts on the matter are pretty irrelevant since I'm not a men's physique competitor. But I think it's interesting to hear some of the opinions from the top level guys about the current state of the union. But whether or not all this ever amounts to anything other than noise in the comments section is something we'll all just have to wait and see. Hey, do you guys remember a few weeks ago when there was some talk floating around social media about there being a path to the top in the women's physique division? Well, I think an avalanche by the name of Shanique Grant might have just come down the mountain and wiped that whole damn thing out of existence. On Tuesday, a new progress photo leaked from inside Shanique's camp that shows the champ looking like she's a prototype from something straight out of the next Marvel movie. Seriously, she looks like a cartoon character, and she's only just now starting to enter her prime. Shanique looks like the Lender Murray of women's physique, so unless she gets bored with winning, I just can't imagine anyone knocking her off of the throne at any point in the near future. How's that old saying go about third time being a charm? Because this time, I think it might be coming to fruition for classic physique star Santi Aragon. Yesterday, Team Aragon released one of the final updates of their guy less than 72 hours out from this weekend's Dallas Europa Pro, where he should be in the running to bring home his first pro victory. What we've seen from Santi this year has been head and shoulders above anything else he's ever shown in his pro career. So hopefully this time around the stars align in his favor, and he can see the fruits of all that labor pay off in the form of an Olympia nod. And that does it for yet another edition of Muscle in the Morning. I'm Dave Palumbo, reminding you to always be true to your passions, and make sure to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.